Great last 12 minutes the other night. I thought we did a really solid job defensively, and that's been our it's been our calling card. Obviously, we didn't shoot the ball very well, but to go 5 of 29 and find a way to win by 16 in this league means you're doing some other things very well. So it's kind of the the February mentality. On to the next, and another one's upon us, and it's a very good basketball team with a tremendous amount of talent. They're offensively the same Iowa team that they always are. They're very gifted. They have tremendous spurtability. They bring Sanford off the bench, who is extremely productive in his minutes played. They do what they do on the defensive side. They guard you. They're playing a little more man this year than normal. They play some zone. They press. So it's a very typical Iowa team with very good offensive players. I think Connor McCaffrey is having an exceptional year. I think he's one of the elite passers in college basketball. And then Rebraka might be the most improved player in our league. And he's a guy that's capable of getting 20. He does a good job of rim running. He can play in ISOs. He can face you up. And a guy that was kind of not a top option last year has now become a primary option for them this year. And obviously Chris is an NBA talent. So this is a very talented Iowa team, and we'll have to be very good on the defensive side to keep them in check. So yeah.
Coach, obviously Iowa can put some points on the board. Are there one or two things offensively that you have to take away from them to make them a more one-dimensional?
No, I mean, I think you got to, you've always, when you play Iowa, I think the one thing that in all of our games, there's been tremendous spurts. And, especially at home, they play and, they can rattle off 2, 3, 4 threes real quick if you're sloppy with the ball and they get going in transition. They're very good in transition offense. They kind of got the rule, if they're above the free throw line, they don't crash. They just leak out and go. Connor gets the ball out of the net as fast as anybody, so they push, make, or miss. So you've got to be cognizant of what they're doing, what you're doing in transition defense, and then Rebraka does a great job of rim running. So as always with Iowa, you got to take transition away.
Luke had a follow-up with the doctor earlier this week. Any news on that front or his
status?
Yeah,
he practiced yesterday, and we'll as expected. He looked good, but again he's missed 3 months, and he was having to take himself out of practice because we went up and down quite a bit yesterday, and he was trying to find oxygen, but looked really good, competed really hard. And today will be another day, and he'll be in uniform tomorrow, and we'll see what that what that looks like. So we're not going to put him out there in long stints. That that definitely won't happen. His oxygen's not there yet, and his conditioning, but that'll come with time.
How well do you think he can acclimate, and what's key to him being able to kind of have a seamless transition back into the mix?
Yeah, we'll see. I don't have an answer for that. I think you got to, he's a guy that has a special skill set, in terms of his ability to shoot it. He's tough, he's got size. But, on the other hand, we've got to make sure he's ready to go. He's got to be at the level of everybody else that we're putting him out there with. So, we know Luke will play hard. We know he's cerebral, picks up what we're doing very well, and he's stayed in touch with that aspect while he's been out. But we'll see what that looks like.
I mean, does it help him that maybe things offensively, defensively are a little more similar to last year than say they were at the beginning of the year when he was out?
Yeah, and I mean, he was part of practice, before the scrimmage, and so but he spends a lot of time watching film. He's a guy that has been around practice, so familiarity is on the offensive side is pretty easy for him. You know, I think I'm probably more concerned about the defensive side, and we've been so good on that end. You know, we got to make sure that everybody we put out there is that dialed in.
Just to clarify, is he available tomorrow, Brad?
Yeah, he'll be in uniform.
Okay.
The freshmen were so big for you on Tuesday night. Do those guys, in your mind, feel like they still have that label of freshman to you? How big has their development been?
I mean, they've played a lot of minutes. I mean, you start thinking that, you know, we're sitting here talking about Luke, and, you know, Sincere's already played more minutes than he's played in his career. You know, and so freshmen are, you know, every minute they play is valuable. It's experience gained, and you know, they've been thrown to the wolves. So, you know, they've seen a lot. They've seen more than a lot of freshmen around, and you know, so I think with every game they play, every time they have success, there's confidence gained, and that's a positive.
A lot of your men's conference play in Nebraska, Wisconsin was kind of been defined by late red the second half for you guys. What's been kind of key to that second half execution?
Defensive side, really. I mean, you look at the other night against Nebraska, our defense got us out in transition, got us running. I think our toughness, I think our ability to make it hard for teams to score, and then we've been very select and purposeful in our ability to get out in transition. Some of those came off turnovers, some of them came after stops and pushes, and so I hope it's maybe we've worn some people out and fatigued them, but you know, and then it's you know, we played really good offense late. You know, we were really solid. We made extra pass. We elevated each other, and I think that's been a big piece of the offensive side.
You and Iowa, you guys in Iowa, really just where you've been in the last few years. It seems like kind of developed quite the rivalry there. New faces, obviously, on both sides. Is it still, that fire still there with you guys? And maybe what, if it is, what carries over with that?
Well, I look at their coach. I look at Fran, and we're a lot alike. I mean, we're you know, Fran's turned into a close friend and a guy that I do a lot with in the off season in terms of coaches versus cancer, and yet, man, that dude's just firing, is competitive, and you know, Connor's been around for, you know, 100 years, and I mean, he's rivals Trent Frazier in longevity, and you know, he's a heck of a competitor, and I just think it's a great college basketball game. They've been great. They've had All-Americans. They've had National Players of the Year. So have we. So I think it's been it's coincided with both teams making jumps in the Big Ten, and both teams being good. And you know, to me, it's my hat's off to Fran and his staff and his players, because you know, there's a lot of success that's been involved in that program, as it has in ours, and you know, you get two successful teams, and it's a bordering state, and you know, you get you know, some very, very competitive games.
With the way they've been changing defenses, is there a little bit more onus on Jaden Epps to recognize and get the team into their set?
It's everybody, you know, and that's one of the things Iowa does is, you know, you always know you're going to see the press. You always know you're going to see, you know, 10, 12, whatever, however many number of possessions of zone and man, and you know, you got to be able to make those adjustments. So he did great in the Nebraska game. We didn't execute great against the zone, but our numbers against zone have been through the roof. So, but yeah, you know, you got to. That's what Iowa does. You know, they're going to change things up, and it's like clockwork.
Is there a number of threes you want to see your team take per game? Is 29 too many? And are you concerned about the three-point percentage?
Open ones. You know, I tell our guys all the time, I think the one thing that we've got to be able to do is elevate each other. You know, we've taken some hard threes. You know, we've taken shots that, you know, have been contested, and instead of just making the one extra pass and going from a good one to a great one. And you know, one of the last possessions of the game, Matt hits one wide open in the corner. It was just an extra pass, and we turned down a good one to get a great one. We're a good shooting team. I don't have a number. I just want good ones. And you know, no one likes threes more than me. But you know, I like them when they come out of flow and their shots. The guys practice, and you know, I'm never telling guys not to shoot them. We want to make shots that or take shots that we can make.
I guess on the rivalry front with Iowa, you're going to be down a couple hundred potential fans that will be making the trip. I mean, just the Crush, you know, showing up at road games. Just how unique is that? You know, I guess when they can do
like
it.
I said, we've got the best fan base and student section in the country, and you know, the Orange Crush is instrumental and part of our home games, and you know, we love them. You know, and they're a huge advantage for us. You know, when we play at home, and you know, it's one of those situations. I'd be honest, I've stayed out of. I got enough to worry about playing basketball. We want to be always supportive of the Crush, but there's a game to be played, and there's 40 minutes, and we'll play whatever we have in front of however many fans they have, and you know, we'll hope to see him down the road some other place.
They have an X factor in Murray. What's he bring to the court for
He's
you?
a pro. He's a pro. He's a pro. He scores at every level. He's a pro. I mean, that's, you know, it's we're playing in the Big Ten. Guys have pros, and we got to make it hard. And he finds a way every single night to get 20. And we just have to make it hard. We can't give him easy ones.
How much similarity is there with Keegan, or is Chris? You know.
No, I'm not going to go there. I think there's, you know, they're brothers. There's similarities, obviously. Chris is a really good catch and shoot guy, and you know, he poses a lot of problems when he plays at 5 from an offensive standpoint. But you know, there's a lot of similarities. They're twins. Their games are a little bit different, but they're both pros, and we obviously know if you follow Keegan, he's having a really good year in the NBA, and it's just taking Chris that extra year, but he stepped into brother's role pretty well. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Coach.